Hello, everybody! As you probably know, it's me, the Red Mage Kro, and welcome back to Pokemon Crystal, where we have the dazzling, the awesome, the Ramunade of Kitsune!
Ramunade! Ramunade!
The Ramunade!
Okay, I'm a soda now.
Yeah!
Did you know there's a food called Kitsune udon?
Oh, really? Oh my god, no.
Oh, that's a rock. That's a hole. Why is there a hole there?
Okay. I'm gonna go grab something.
Yeah?
And guess what?
What?
So long as I can grab it,
Uh-huh.
it's an advantage.
Okay. Did you ever get a thief?
No.
Did you find out where it is?
No, I'm not gonna go for it.
Why not?
It's so weak.
Oh.
It's too weak. It's 40 base power.
So? It's super effective.
Yeah, but Bite is 60 base power, and I got Bite.
I don't have bite.
I do.
I don't.
That's why Kobe is going to be the way that I beat freaking Bill.
That does remind me. I was gonna put
Oh, thank
thief.
gosh she's here.
Gonna give thief to Anju. Just so she has it.
Nice.
Bocce can also learn it, but I don't want him to have that. Goodbye, rollout. You were useless.
God, how I wish I had the elemental punches.
Right?
It's just really funny that neither of us can make use of them, though.
We can't make use of most of her moves.
It's such a shame.
Yeah. What can you do, though?
Now the question is, who the hell am I going to teach Return to?
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Maybe Knocked Owl, but... Yeah, that seems like a good idea to a degree.
Just gotta do what you gotta do.
Because if anything, Robin could definitely use a better normal type move.
I hate the Skullbat.
Goldbats love you.
It used Confuse Ray, and on the previous fight, it used Supersonic. It's like, fuck you. I can't win with these guys.
Because I no longer need Swift, which is great.
Oh, and I also made it to, the place.
Yeah.
So I can get rid of my Poliwag, so I can get Ruto back in the team.
Yeah, that's right.
She is so weak.
No, why is Shia so weak?
Because Ruto has just not been in the party as often because I've been always switching her out for other things.
Did you get my joke?
No.
I said, why is Shia so weak?
I thought you said Shia, but I thought you did it by accident.
Nope, it was on purpose.
Dang it. How could
Your
you fool
Digimon-
me?
Your Digimon is come to like full circle.
Oh man. I think this actually would this series or this episode specifically would it come up before Digimon on the channel?
That I don't know.
I forgot what I said.
I don't.
I think I moved it to October.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when you're going to be posting those.
Yeah, it's kind of been like up in the air.
If anything, we should start on Dirge of the Cerberus at some point.
Mhm.
That way we can get started on Digimon World 1.
Oh yeah. Do it.
Oh my god, there's so much that like we have on our plates
Uh-huh.
to like play, because like Yeah, Digimon World 1. Oh, also Metal Gear Solid Trilogy. There was another game that I remembered that we were going to play together, but I totally forgot what it was.
Is it not on the list?
I think it wasn't on the list.
Oh.
So now I'm just kind of,
I'm trying to remember which it could have been.
yeah.
Same mind there.
Yeah.
We're both
I know I put Conception on.
Yes. I love that game.
I played a little bit of it, but like I'm not sure how I exactly feel.
I prefer the sequel over the first one, but that's on 3DS, so
Yeah.
I don't even think I have that on my computer. I have it on my, you know.
Well, if you get Steam, you can play it on the computer.
But I don't want to play it on the computer. I don't like playing games on computer.
Man, now I'm thinking about it, and now I'm just kind of curious as to what it was.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of games that we could play.
We definitely did.
Oh, I think I did add, well, I never, like, was really sure if we were actually gonna do it or not. Final Fantasy VII.
I mean, yeah, we could totally, like, do Final Fantasy VII.
I know I wanted to play it for my channel.
Honestly, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm actually really interested in?
What?
I want to know whether or not, this capture card can work with a phone.
A phone? Oh. Oh, like with, not Digimon, freaking Monster World. No. Monster, I want to say Monster Rancher. What game am I wanting?
The one Monster Hunter Stories.
That's the one, yes, thank you. Oh my god.
so not so much for Monster Hunter Stories, because I'm technically near the end of that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not starting that back up. But primarily due to the fact that the new Final Fantasy VII game.
Oh, the new one?
Like the one that supposedly goes over a little bit more of Sephiroth's backstory.
Oh, well. Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Sorry. I hate him so much. It's so funny. It's so funny how much I just do not like Sephiroth.
I mean, it's understandable. He's very stoic, and honestly, in my personal opinion, he's a bad freaking villain. He
is, because he's not really. He's a victim.
I mean, yeah, for one, he's a victim, but all of the mayhem that he's like, I just feel like all the mayhem that he's like making is not justified for him being born a quote-unquote monster.
I mean, he's not even.
Exactly. It's how you perceive yourself.
Yeah, he literally just got mind controlled and just is doing what not Shiva, what Genova wants.
Well, that's the thing, like, we don't really know, because Genova's supposed to be dead.
Except for we fight her all the time.
Except we fight her all the time. It's weird. But supposedly, we're not actually fighting Genova, we just think we are.
Huh. Well, all I know is, Eris basically confirmed that Genova is the real villain. Because like, she is a virus. She is a virus to the planet who's trying to fight her off.
Ah.
She's an alien. She's not human.
Yes.
She's not Citra. So, I said Citra. Cetra. Citra's a whatever, you know. That's something else.
No, yeah, I get you. But, like, supposedly, Sephiroth is capable of making illusions so real that it deals damage to you.
And himself, apparently.
I mean, yeah. Like, you know his, like, supernova attack?
Uh-huh.
That's an illusion.
That's still causing damage?
Yes.
Otherwise, like, why would all the planets be being destroyed constantly?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's an illusion, so like none of that is actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
But he's making Cloud and Co. believe that it's happening, so that when the sun finally hits them, it deals damage to them, but it's not actually what happened.
I see.
And so it's somewhat believed that that the fights that we have with Genova are just basically illusions that Sephiroth is conjuring up for us to fight.
Even though he's not really there?
Even though, well, like, yeah, like, supposedly, we never actually get to meet the real Sephiroth until the very end of the game.
Yeah, because he's like frozen in ice. He's just hanging out.
Well, no, it's not even that he's frozen in ice, he's actually dead.
Is he?
Yeah, so, dude, this is how it gets ridiculously convoluted to all hell. But basically, he actually dies, but he falls into the life stream. That's why when we finally get into the life stream, that's where he's at. You know, he's been basically in there, and the life stream has basically been keeping him alive this entire time. And every single Sephiroth that we met prior to that is just actually the reunion people who are being controlled by Sephiroth to basically do his bidding while he is in fact dead. It's freaking weird, and it's stupid and makes everything really convoluted.
Yeah, I'll just continue believing what I believe.
Oh no, go ahead. Like, if anything, if that...
Yeah, only because it's like that is very convoluted. I'm gonna forget all of that one day.
Yeah, but supposedly that is roughly what is going on. Those Sephiroths that we have met prior to the live stream Disc 3 is specifically the reunion people.
Yeah, they're just other people that are victims to Hojo.
Exactly.
But, like, technically speaking, so, Cloud, Nanaki, and Vincent would all also be reunion people.
Well, we don't realistically know about Red 13, and I don't think Vincent has any, Genova cells in him.
No, he does.
He does?
Yeah, he was experimented on.
Well, he was experimented on, but with a completely different, being in particular. It gets talked a little bit more about in, Crisis Core, I think.
Oh, well, I don't believe... Okay. I'm gonna say something very controversial. If it wasn't in the first game, I don't care.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. But...
Because everything else was, like, added on and made it everything... It's like the Kingdom Hearts conundrum, where they're adding on things to make it more, not... It doesn't help the plot, is what I'm gonna say. Yeah. It only makes it more convoluted.
Yes.
And makes the other stuff, get... okay, what is it when you,
drowned out.
What?
Drowned out?
Not just drowned out, like, you put loopholes in your own plot.
Yes.
So, the previous plots now don't make any sense because there's a new point that's like, oh no, this is why it was this way, when that makes no sense with the other games kind of situation. So, for my case of the situation, if we don't consider Crisis Core, if you don't consider the newest games that are out there, I forget about Advent Children, what the fuck was that? Let's just say, if we're going by what we know about the first game, Hojo only had access to Genova cells. And he was using them in different ways. So, from what we understand, what he used them for with Vincent was trying to turn him into a monster. No, I should not have used that attack on that Golbat. Anyway. Don't use grass moves on his Golbat. Got it. But, yeah, and he was doing it in a way to create a monster, but instead of affecting Vincent himself, it only affects him in his limit break.
Well, that's the thing. Vincent's limit break is so that he turns into that monster specifically.
Yeah. Chaos.
Is that what it is?
It's called Chaos, the overall name. But
I honestly don't remember.
yeah, it has different names, but the main name of it is Chaos.
Which would technically mean
It got its own sentient.
no. I mean maybe, but like.
Oh no, it does. It's its own completely different creature. Like Vincent is not Chaos, but Chaos is him.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but yeah, it's like a completely different personality, but also it's actually a real creature that's inside of him.
Kinda yes.
Without being Genova, while still having Genova cells in him. So he does have Genova cells in him, but he has something else as well, is the difference.
Yeah. But I don't think that Red 13 has any Genova cells.
Yeah, we don't know about that one. That's the one we don't have any confirmation on, other than he did mark him as an experiment that he wanted to use.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as we know, all he did was get the tattoo and the plan to breed more babies.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I really hate how in the new Final Fantasy VII,
Uh-huh.
the 3D one, right?
Yeah.
They decided to backtrack on the having Aerith breed with Red X13
Wait, why?
because they probably felt like in today's snowflakey world that wouldn't sit well with people.
Please. The only people who have a problem with that are the people who are calling other people snowflakes.
Probably, yes.
Because, like, while I will definitely say Nanaki is more of a beast, he is, like, he can communicate, he can make his own consent. What exactly is he? Could he breed with a human? We don't know.
And I think that was supposed to be, like, the test.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, like, they just completely took it out. And it was just like, really? Really? No balls.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Not because it's a good scene, but it just shows, like, how awful Hojo is.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. You need to know how awful Hojo is, because he's a... Like, just as much as Genova is the main villain, so is Hojo.
Yes. What is Cotton Spore?
Cotton Spore lowers the opponent's speed, I think?
Okay, yeah, you're not learning that.
But it does it by, like, 2 stages.
Yeah, that's no good. Bam, 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 bam. But, yeah, you know what I also hate about the remake?
What do you also hate about the remake?
The first act. Where they completely change the whole situation with Shinra and Avalanche. Because Avalanche was neutral good. Or no. Chaotic good.
Chaotic good, yes.
Yeah, not neutral. Because
yeah, no, definitely not.
they were causing damage, causing who knows how much, like, injuries in the act of, like, bombing the shrines. The reactors. To make a point, you know, like, stop bleeding the life out of the planet, we will destroy these, blah 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 blah. And the fact that they are making it so Shinra is purposely destroying it for every single one to make Avalanche look bad is like, that doesn't make it good. That makes them worse. And not as good villains, but as, like, cartoony villains, because they're like, at least, like, with the first time they purposely bombed something, which was to get rid of Sector 7, that made sense because they were being pushed to react and then blame it on Avalanche, not, oh, let's make it so that they're blaming all the bombs on them, but they're actually doing it themselves. Ooh, aren't they villainous? Like, no, that's just cartoony and stupid because they're losing money.
Yeah, definitely. But, like, also, like, I just don't see Avalanche being that big of a threat to them.
Yeah.
Theoretically. And, like, for them to, like, drop an entire plate on top of people
Mm-hmm.
just to try to kill, like, what was it, like 5 members?
About, yeah.
To kill like 5 people, they were like, oh yes, let's go ahead and drop this plate on like a bunch of people. People who are technically, you know, also giving us money.
Mm-hmm.
And like, not only that, but like, what they don't really talk about is the damage that they probably did to the top plate too, you know?
Oh yeah, that is true. There are people who are living on top of it.
So, theoretically,
They
you
fucked
just
themselves.
basically got rid of 2 of your sectors just to try to kill 5 people.
Yep.
It's completely stupid. Maybe it justifies their means, and that just kind of shows how bad of people they actually are.
Yeah, especially the scene where the guy is watching it fall, listening to like freaking classic music.
Yes.
It's like, damn, dude. Over the top villain.
Yeah. And, like, you know, I absolutely like that about the original. They weren't afraid to kind of, like, pull punches because these were awful, despicable people.
Yep.
And they just kind of gloss over that in the remake.
Mm-hmm. And dude, the way they also put like so much focus on freaking Sephiroth when he's not even there most of the time,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't care.
Yeah, like, if anything, Sephiroth was never the main villain.
Yeah, he
Like,
was.
he shows up from time to time, but that was the enigma of it all.
He wasn't even brought up until like they were in Shinra's headquarters.
Yeah, when basically Sephiroth supposedly killed the president.
That's the only time he gets brought up for the first time.
Yeah, and honestly, like, that was really cool that we have this mysterious guy who came in, slaughtered everybody
In the way, yeah.
without even a sweat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that it wasn't even Sephiroth, that it was possibly Cloud who killed everyone?
So, here's the thing.
Mhm.
It's not a bad theory. I don't like. I've had the thought before as well. I don't think it was Cloud because number one, where would he have gotten that sword? Because
I mean, Hojo probably would have it.
yeah, but I'm just saying I don't think Cloud could dexterously use that sword.
I mean, who knows? Like, because, like, Hojo's in the building.
Yeah.
He knows, he somewhat knows Cloud. He probably at that point should know either that or he forgot about Cloud.
Well, he was still considering Cloud as a failure.
True that.
He only saw him as a not failure after, God, when did he change his mind? It was like sometime after, I think, Cloud and Sephiroth met. And he gave him the black materia.
Somewhere along those lines.
I think that's when he's like, oh, you're not a failure after all. I think it was like sometime after that, at least. But, yeah, no, I think... Because... where did that sword come from?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely, like, a very big thing.
Unless Hojo has another one of those swords and he gave him to one of the experiments.
Yeah, that is a good question. Where did is that like a plot hole, possibly?
It's either a plot hole, because there was another, like, no, it wasn't the sword that was left behind. It was the snake. The corpse of the snake. The, Zolam?
Whatever the hell that was.
You remember the big giant snake in the sand?
Dude, how could I forget? That thing gave me so much trouble as a child.
Yeah, you're not supposed to fight until later.
Dude, I fought that mother effer tooth and nail. And as a child, I won.
Did you?
Only to find out that the snake doesn't actually die. It
Yeah,
actually
it comes back.
respawns.
Yeah.
And then I had to freaking run for my life. Because I couldn't fight it a second time.
Yeah, they're really hard. But then when you get like really strong and you go back there, these guys are pushovers.
Right? Like, oh my god.
It's really funny. But it does make it very satisfying to go back and try, like, am I stronger now? And find out, oh, yeah, you are. But, yeah, so...
Maybe...
Oh, yeah?
Maybe it's the Sephiroth that was inside the boat. Because if you think about it, he was always one step ahead of you. Killing the guy, killing the giant snake. The only other place that he could technically go was Junon, in which that's where you basically went to go onto the boat so you can get to Costa de Sol. So would kind of make sense that if, someone was the perpetrator was, always one step ahead of you, that it would probably be that one.
Yeah, that's why I do think it's probably one of the reunion guys posing as Sephiroth.
It's definitely very possible.
So, because like people are saying, oh, it was Sephiroth, it was totally Sephiroth. But like, we never see, except for on the boat, that what looked like Sephiroth, but he floated away.
Yeah.
He threw a piece of Genova cell at you, flew off like a freaking Peter Pan villain.
Yeah, and even then, like, who knows whether or not, like... Because, like, it could have definitely have been a monster infected with the Genova virus that turns into those Genova's things, for all we know. There's just a lot of things that aren't
explained
told to us.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that is still, like, a really, like, big part of what makes Final Fantasy VII really good.
Yeah, that's why I definitely like the original more, other than the remakes, because it gives you so many mysteries that you kind of have to, like, piece together yourself.
Yeah.
And I just like the theories behind it. Like, people can, like, say, oh, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and, like, you could be right. You could be wrong, but who cares? It's fun.
Yeah. Also, can we pause for a little while? I gotta go to the restroom.
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay, bye. We're back.
Yay!
Alright! Make it easy for me to edit.
Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, like, if anything, like, I just feel like anytime they try to add bits and bobs to, like, explain the mystery, it takes away from Final Fantasy VII.
That's kind of why I was more disappointed with a lot of the continuation stuff. Like, the movie, Advent Children. I was super bummed about that.
Like, it was honestly a not-so-good movie.
Like, number one, I don't like Sephiroth. Number two, I didn't want to focus on what it focused on. Cause, like, Geosigma?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I kind of liked the idea of Kadaj. And I don't remember... yes. Apparently in Crisis Core, Kadaj is actually referenced at the very ending of the game.
Oh.
Basically, they took... I think they took, like, Genesis or something, and that's why Kadaj is as strong as he is, because supposedly he has, like, the Genesis cells or something. It's very weird, and it still, leaves a bunch of questions than it does answers.
It does, yeah.
But honestly, like, I will say that out of every single, like,
oh my God, are you gonna die?
bit and bob that actually, that gets added to Final Fantasy VII, the only one that I'm really going to, like, keep is Crisis Core. I just love Zack way too much.
I mean, that's fair. Like, there's a lot of things I like about the game. Like the inclusion of, God, what was his name?
Gaga.
No. uh,
Genesis.
no. Not fucking Genesis. God damn. No. Okay, fun fact. I don't like Genesis.
Fair enough.
I don't hate him like I hate Sephiroth. But let's just say he likes poetry. He's annoying, alright? Got good looks. I like his look. I don't like his personality.
Honestly, he fits into the whole Sephiroth where he does not have a good reason to be a villain.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Like, he would have been a better good guy.
Yeah, like, I think he would have been, like, a much better good guy, but no. You're probably talking about Angeal, then.
No.
No?
I don't hate Angeal. I actually like Angeal, actually.
I do, too.
But no, I like the inclusion of the blonde guy.
Cloud.
No, not... Yeah, the inclusion of Cloud, who didn't exist in the first game. No, the other one with the glasses.
Okay, I know who you're talking about, but I've already forgotten his name. Lazard! His name is Lazard!
Was it Lazard? I was gonna say Lazarius. I was like, I don't remember. Lazard, yes. So I like the inclusion of him because it basically proves that not only, which it was already kind of proven in the first game too, that Shinra gets around.
Yes.
And did have a child out of wedlock.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Which makes me think there's a high possibility that freaking Cloud's mom had relations with Shinra, and that could have been his dad for all we know.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah,
we talked about this.
It's one of those like theory things where it's like it could be true, it could be not. It's just fun to think about.
Yeah, it's always fun to think about it.
Because I have a couple of theories of who Cloud's father is, and Shinra just happens to be one of them.
Oh, you know what? Even then, like, I don't even need the capture card for the phone, because I can just download BlueStacks, maybe.
Oh, well, that would be good.
And then just play the new Final Fantasy VII game on that, and see how that differs, because supposedly it still goes through, like, all of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
As far as I'm aware, there are a bunch of there are bits and bobs of Final Fantasy VII there. Updated graphics, animations, and the like.
I did. Oh, is it the one where it looks more like hand drawn animation?
I'm not entirely sure. It basically. It looks a lot.
I said hand drawn. I meant like portrait art.
Maybe.
Because I saw that one, and that looks really good, but it's basically supposed to just be the main game, but, like, better art, without, like, being realistic.
Well, I do know that there's one that basically is the main game, but, like, updated, like, art and graphics and the like.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
But it also, it for whatever reason, has Sephiroth moments in the game.
Of course. Oh my god.
I know, and honestly, that's the only real reason why I kind of want to try it.
Because of Sephiroth?
Not because of Sephiroth, but because it's going to be a somewhat new, a somewhat different take on Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Because, you know, as much as I've basically played Final Fantasy VII at least 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've only beaten it 3 times out of those 5.
More than me.
And the first 2 was when I was a child, and I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on. I got lost, so I had to restart.
Yeah,
then, like,
I did that a lot.
And then I dropped it, and then I had to replay it, and yeah.
I did that a lot, but I only restarted when I got stuck in fighting a boss. Because I usually got stuck in a point where, like, you couldn't go back.
Yeah.
And level grind. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna quit for a bit, come back, and be like, I don't remember what I'm doing, so start all from scratch.
Yeah, I think that the second time, I was stuck in the pyramid, and I had to fight Demon Wall, but he was too much for me, and I couldn't beat him no matter what I tried.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened to my second run. I had to just, like, stop there, replay, and God, it was awful.
Oh, I bet.
But if anything, like I really love 7.
I do too. It's one of my favorite games.
It's the only RPG game that I've beaten more than once.
You know what game I've beaten more than once?
Which one?
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross.
You've beaten it like 10 times.
More than that.
I mean, I don't doubt it. You probably got all the endings.
I did. I got all the endings.
And like that's crazy.
Because you got to beat the game once.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 different endings you can get. You can get the good ending and the whatever ending. It's not really bad, but it's just like, whoops, you know. You didn't do it right.
Can I count Disgaea then? Because like I got all the endings except for 2.
Yes. Yes, you
God,
can.
I love Disgaea 1.
But yeah, so after you beat the game at least once and reload your file, you can beat the game multiple times to get different endings. I believe there are 10 different endings from that. Maybe more, actually. Plus the other 2 base ones. So, let's just say, like, there's, like, 12 endings. I got them all.
Yes, like, if anything. You have a series on your channel dedicated to that.
Yes.
You guys should totally go watch that if you're watching my video.
No.
No, Cloud.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh, watch her video, but only after this one's done. I'll still put like a card or something here, hopefully, if I remember.
Oh. Yeah, that series is only a blemish to me for one reason.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get the platinum trophy.
Oh no!
Which got me so frustrated because apparently I did something wrong.
Aww.
But it's fine. I can do it on my own. I just have to replay the game one more time.
Yeah, and I still need to like try to beat the secret boss in Crisis Core.
Crisis Core. Oh.
Yeah, there's a secret boss in Crisis Core.
Is there? No. Yes, there is. I was gonna say, is there a secret boss in 7?
Yes, Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ultima Weapon also kind of counts? No, yes?
Right?
I'm not sure if Ultima Weapon counts, because it's technically a boss that you don't have to fight for main story purposes.
I mean, none of them you have to.
I mean, none of them you have to, but Ultima Weapon gives you an ultimate weapon.
Yeah. I remember, what am I thinking of? There's an old man.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to him with all the mastered elements, he'll give you something.
I don't remember that one.
I just remember he gives you something for the exchange of something else.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. There's so much to 7 that, like, I just probably have not seen.
Oh,
but
maybe
that's fine.
Maybe if you give him your weapon, he gives you, like, another extra of the mastered elements materia.
Oh,
maybe that's what I'm maybe it's the opposite of what I'm thinking. Because I just remember in the first town that you go to after leaving Midgar, there's an old man in a chair. I think it's the old man in the chair. He will give you an item for something else, and it's something really good. But you're also losing something very good, is what I remember.
I see.
But you can get multiple swords, if I remember right. So.
Oh, okay.
Because you can get the ultimate weapon in the cavern. The northern cavern.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I got mine.
What?
Yeah. If you go down a certain pathway, you can find the ultimate weapon there.
What the heck?
Yeah. And then the other way to get it is by fighting the weapon guy.
Huh.
If I'm remembering this correctly, it's been a while. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's a weird game with a lot of little things.
Like, my favorite thing was always mastering the materia.
Dude, same.
Like, oh my god.
Oh, look at you. You're so tiny.
Oh, you know what?
Uh-huh.
You know it's another one of my favorite Final Fantasies?
13.
No.
14.
I mean, kind of. While I do like 14, I just don't have the best memories.
12.
Who the hell likes 12?
You'd be
Like,
surprised.
No, seriously, whoever likes 12, please go ahead, leave a comment down below, and I really want to hear your take on why 12 is the best.
Because it's not.
I mean, if I had to,
I'm joking.
Okay, so serious moment.
Yes.
I believe that if 12 is anyone's favorite, it's because they were introduced to 12.
Yes.
Probably.
But, okay, I'll play devil's advocate, even though I do hate 12. The reasons why I think anyone would like it is, number one, it's more sci-fi-like than fantasy. So people who are less into, like, fantasy but more like sci-fi, you're gonna like 12. If you like, the design of that one bunny girl, you're gonna like 12. If you like the guy, the pirate captain guy who's like Han Solo, you like Star Wars, you're gonna like it.
Okay, I kind of... I don't like sci-fi.
Neither do I.
Probably why I don't like it.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, the Viera, that's what they're called.
Oh, the bunny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of them.
Neither am I. But, I'm just saying, I understand people liking that. Now, I will say what I do like about the game.
Mm-hmm.
I like the monster designs.
Yeah, it does have quite a bunch of good monster designs, honestly.
Like the cactuar?
So...
I love the cactuar in those games. They are so cute.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the monster designs from 12 are actually in 14.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised.
But I could be wrong. I haven't played that game in a long time.
There's also a dinosaur.
Dinosaur!
I just remember seeing the dinosaur from a distance like, oh, that's gonna kill me. And it found me, it killed me. Like, oh!
No!
It's like a random, like, 100 level monster in a place where you're fighting, like, level, like, I don't know, 3 and 5 or something.
Dude,
like, damn, dude.
That is freaking Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
I love that about Xenoblade Chronicles.
I did like that part.
Where, like, you could just, like, make a wrong turn and end up in an area where you're supposed to be, like, level 20, and these things are, like, level 48, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, I love it when, like, the developers are like, okay, they're smart enough not to fight something that is supposed to be this high level, but let's go ahead and just put these here just because it'll, like, add a little bit more to the experience. I love that bullcrap.
That's what I did like in Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, there was something, like, really fun about finding, like, a monster that's stronger than you. The only thing I didn't like about in Sword and Shield was that you couldn't catch them no matter what because they were too high a level.
I know, that was the lame part.
And Violet and Scarlet, they did not do that, though.
They did not, which I am more happy about.
Because you can still run into a high-level monster, but you were able to catch it.
Ah, god dang it. I do not know how I'm going to level up half of my team. Like, I'm looking at it. Jinbei is the only one that can actually, like, defeat all of these rock monsters.
Yeah.
Like, easily. I mean, unless they don't have any rock-type moves. But even then, like, oh my god, I'm just gonna have so much freaking trouble.
Yeah, because, like, yeah, like you were saying, Jinbei is good in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Where I am, I should say.
Yes.
Because of the Gravelers and Onyx.
Yes.
But outside of, like, maybe, I mean, that's what you could probably do. Like, switch trains. So, like, have Jinbei act as your backup. So, focus on him first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then switch your team around so that whoever's in first has the XP share. And then switch to Jinbei so they're still getting that bonus.
I mean, yeah, that would actually probably be
Because that's what
pretty
I'm
good.
kind of doing right now with, well, I'm not really doing it with you because I'm a little bit like, I don't want to die. 'Cause a lot of my team are still like needing to train, but right now I'm focusing on Mito with you as a backup, and if I had to have to switch to a Ganju because like gold, I almost said gold duck, Golbat, because of poison, flying, I switched to her for confusion. But I am definitely gonna, I think once I get Ruto going, she will be in the front with the XP share, and I'll be doing the switch training. Just to help her catch up faster. Because she is so behind, and she needs it more. That's a level 40 Graveler.
I'm also gonna, like, put away some items because I am full and I need to, like, swap over the restore, the freaking, I need to, move over the EXP share.
Aha. I still do not have an evolution stone for Ruto.
That's gonna be your biggest problem, I feel.
Yeah. Everybody else is good.
You're technically down one Pokemon.
Because of that, yeah. I mean, what can I do?
Not much, unfortunately.
Gina's not calling me, so...
She's being a butt.
Yep.
Honestly, I should probably be leveling up Kobe. Because he is technically my win con for Will. And maybe fighting Will would be a lot better than fighting these Pokemon.
Oh, probably.
To a degree.
Also, question, who is Will?
Is it Bill or Will?
Who is that?
He's the first member of the Elite Four.
I don't know who that is.
He's the psychic one.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so basically, he kind of looks like Lorelei, so everyone's just kind of like, oh, Will is just Lorelei, but basically Lorelei did something different with herself, and instead of being an Ice-type gym Elite Four member, she's now a Psychic type. And it's like, you guys are freaking stupid!
I was gonna say, who's Lorelei? I was like, oh, wait, Ice Trainer. Okay, I know who that is.
Yeah.
She's the redhead.
She's the redhead.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though?
What's funny?
I didn't even remember who she was until Pokemon Let's Go.
Oh.
And then I saw her, like, sprite on the Lapras, like, oh, who's this lady? And then, like, later, like, you get into the Elite Four, like, oh, that's who that is.
I'm gonna say, I never played Let's Go.
I did. I had fun.
I just honestly refuse because honestly, I really thought that it was really stupid, and I still think that to this day.
I don't know. I think it was cute.
I mean, like, I get the Eevee and I get the Pikachu, and that's like really cute, and it hits me in my nostalgia for Pokemon Yellow. But when the frickin' I just can't stand it when your rival is the nicest guy.
Okay, yeah.
Stop, Pokemon.
That I do agree. Also, you know what? My other complaint.
What?
They keep spelling Green's name wrong.
Oh. Is it Blue?
Yeah, and she was even there. Blue was right there, and she had blue on her dress, but they were calling her Green. I was like, who the fuck is that? That's Blue. And then there's Green over there wearing green, being called Blue. It's like, what the fuck? And then Red's there, and he's still Red. No, I don't think Red was actually there. No, was he? I don't remember.
Red was there, yes.
I don't remember.
I saw, like, a thing about it. I was like, what the hell? Red is in there. What?
Cool. I'm just gonna die. Yep, Anju
But-
died again. God damn it, Anju.
But yeah, no, like, I just really hated the fact that, like, you couldn't fight the wild Pokemon. You just had to, like, catch them.
I can understand that, yeah. I mean, I kind of liked it, though, because it was like, just throw a Pokeball, catch a Pokemon. This is fun. But I understand if you wanted to fight it. For me, it was the fighting that got tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got sick of fighting the trainers. I didn't want to fight them. I just wanted to, like, beat the game.
Yeah.
Like, I caught the Pokemon I wanted to use. I'm still enjoying catching the Pokemon that I don't even want to use. But I don't want to fight anybody anymore because I'm bored.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. To me, like... To me, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it when there's no incentive to actually, like, fight something, you know?
No, there was an incentive to catching things.
Oh, no, like, I know that you still gained, like, EXP and whatnot.
You also got candy. Oh my god, you died.
Oh, no.
Got hit by a critical attack. What the fuck?
I know that there was, like, actual incentives to, like, catch Pokemon and whatnot. Like, I definitely get that. But, like, to me, just catching the Pokemon isn't, like, gratifying, I guess, to a degree.
Is that why you didn't like
Like-
Legends?
I probably, honestly. Because, like, catching Pokemon, okay, that's good and somewhat fun,
Mhm.
but all in all, I just want to... if I'm not fighting something, then it just doesn't feel like it's earned.
Ah.
And that's what, like, that's the main problem I have with, like, the new Paper Mario games.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on the Paper Mario games.
Oh, I don't expect you to. But it's also another reason why I am not having as much fun with the Mega Man Battle Network series.
Oh, really?
Cause you're fighting, but there's no true level up process, right?
Hmm.
You're basically fighting the same enemies time and time again for little to no reward. Like, you're getting either one of the enemy's moves or you're getting money.
Huh.
It's either of those two. And the things that you basically use for money, you just basically buy chips, or, like, you trade in, like, the chips you basically get. It's just... It's not good. It's not a good system.
Okay.
At least not to my standards. So, all in all, I have found more fun, more success in putting the quote-unquote one-hit kill attack on and just kind of going through the story until I find a boss, in which then I fight it regularly.
Okay.
Because otherwise, all I'm doing is I'm gaining, like, a new move that may or may not be useful, or some money, which I can basically use to buy power-ups.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I have to buy a power-up.
You
I just want to level up regularly.
can't do that. You gotta earn it by working.
But it's to me, it's just it's frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, I get you. You won't.
Also, I was
Oh.
thinking that this was going to be a lot faster.
The grinding?
Yeah.
You thought it'd be faster?
I am gonna be here for like an episode, and basically like the very next episode, everyone's gonna be, oh my god, he freaking blew up Cloud.
The Graveler?
Kobe! No!
The Graveler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had
Oh,
one
no.
blow up on me yet, but that's like one of the things I'm afraid of.
Dude, that was scary. It killed Kobe, and
Oh.
it just faded out to white, and I got
Kobe!
scared that something happened.
Oh. What happened?
It just faded out to white and then went right back to the overworld.
Oh.
So because there was, like, no one to get the EXP, it was just weird.
Oh, I get you. Okay. I was like, what the heck? That is weird.
Right?
So,
on a side note... oh, go ahead.
the first Elite Four member
Yes.
is a psychic type?
Yes.
Cool. Fuck that noise.
Well, I mean, like, once Will is up and dead, then you're kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Because next up is Koga.
Oh yeah, isn't he poison?
Yes.
Well... No, I'm not screwed.
Oh?
I have Vati.
Well, yeah, he has Dig. But that's gonna be if you're faster than his poison types.
I have Quick Claw.
Doesn't always activate.
I know, but it's fine.
Watch it not be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got it, though.
Yeah, we'll find out when I get there.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we can.
Mm-hmm. I really need to get Ruto to catch
Oh, wait,
up.
doesn't he send out Fortress first?
What's a fortress?
Fortress is a steel bug type. Wait, is he a bug type? Because he also has an Ariados, if I recall.
What's an Ariados?
Spinner X evolution.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish I get the names of some of these guys.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
I'm basically a giant encyclopedia.
Fight. But no, the Ariados or whatever?
Ariados.
Yeah, that thing. It's a poison type.
It is a poison type. But it's just that the simple fact that, like, I remember him having a Fortress, which is a bug steel type.
Maybe he just wanted to be different.
I mean, maybe. I mean, he probably wanted to set up all those entry hazards.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually just spikes. But there is no stealth rock. That's a Gen 4 move, and there's no toxic spikes, which I think is also supposed to be a Gen 4 move.
Huh. Guess they made him more useful in later games.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I'm still grinding.
Same.
I'm getting so many Golbats. Golbats. God damn.
Luckily, I can fight them quite nicely.
I can't. I have to switch over to Anju, and the Anju has to either get confused or get hit by a move. And then I can move and attack, and then I have to be like, okay, don't confuse me. Or don't kill me, please. Because they're faster than Anju.
Luckily, Bite is special this gen.
She is confusion.
Ah.
Psychic. She is weak to it.
By the way.
Yeah.
That off note that I was going to say.
Yes.
I got bit 3, 4, 5, 6 different places.
No.
Last night.
How dare you?
Yeah, I don't freaking know what the hell happened because I haven't been bit in like the longest time, and I haven't been doing anything special.
Are you getting bit like when you're at work though?
No, it's all at home.
Are you sure?
Positive. Because I know that I got bit twice while recording yesterday.
You spot them?
I think I spotted one, but like roughly around that time I was starting to get itchy, and then I saw one.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that they're very sneaky.
They are.
That's where there's Mr. Mosquito, the video game.
Yeah, and it's not exactly easy, seeing as how like everything in my room is black.
Oh.
Like, half of my walls are black, and I definitely want to try and change that, but my mom would kill me, I feel.
My walls are white. Or off color white, but they're mostly covered in, like, paintings, and, I got a wall scroll of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
From back in the day, before Chopper joined.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah, it's that old.
Oh, you know what? That would be another nice devil fruit to have.
Oh, wallpaper?
No, choppers.
Oh, well, I know it wouldn't be, because it's the human fruit. You're already human.
Exactly, that's the joke.
I mean, you could change your size.
Well, I think that's the rumble ball that Chopper's developed.
No.
It's not part of his devil fruit.
Yes, it is. Before
No,
before the rumble ball, he could be teeny tiny human little guy, or he could be giant yeti guy.
Really?
Yeah, that was before rumble.
I could have sworn that the rumble balls were like his main thing.
No.
Especially before before Annie's lobby.
Mm-mm. No, that was later. So his like arm point, the jumping point, the big fluffy ball, those are the rumble.
Oh, okay.
But
no, that's a graveler.
The three first forms. So his first form is deer form, which you've seen him in deer form. His little tiny human form, and then the huge yeti form.
I see.
Those are the ones before rumble. But that does mean if you get the human fruit, you don't get the deer form, because that's his base.
Yeah.
You get the little tiny form and the giant form. That's it. That's all you get.
Yay!
So you can be small. Yeah, you can be chibi, or you can be giant. Have fun with that.
We were talking about devil fruits, and which would be like the best ones to basically have.
Mm-hmm.
And I came down to the conclusion, Logia, right?
Yeah.
The elemental ones.
They are great in practice, but mostly awful in a living environment.
I mean, honestly, I'll take like a majority of them, like freaking crocodiles or Kizarus or.
I think, Kizarus and crocodiles are probably the best in practice because, say you're on the beach, even though you would never want to be by the beach. Say you're on the beach, and you get sand everywhere. You can easily control it to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. That's a great way to clean up.
Frick.
But, and the, what's his name again? Kizaru,
yes.
Kizaru. His is good in the fact that you can, like, teleport yourself everywhere.
Yeah, and you're technically faster than light.
Yeah, that would be great. And the only problem is, you gotta be careful, because you can easily destroy everything by using it.
Yeah. But honestly, like, for me, like, the best thing about the devil fruit is being near invincible.
True. Because, like, the ones I really like, but I probably would not want to consume myself, would be, like, NLs, the electricity.
Dude,
that would be so cool, but if you're surrounded by electricity, you're gonna destroy all your equipment, man.
Honestly, I think that the only reason why Enel's electricity fruit did so well in the anime was because of his stupidly great observation hockey.
That too. Also, he revived himself from death.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
It's like, that is baller. I also really like Ace's ability, but again, you're gonna cause a lot of damage, and I live by a forest. That would be bad.
I mean, unless you could control the fire.
True, but if you just get angry and like burst out for the first time, you're gonna cause damage.
or like smokers. Smokers would be kind of
cool. Oh, that would be cool.
It would be cool, but like I would be afraid of a spring breeze.
One question though, do you smell?
Oh, that is the best question, huh?
Like, does it smell like smoke, or does it smell like just clouds?
I don't
and clouds
know.
don't have a smell, technically.
Wow,
so,
do you have a smell?
Yes. Talk about the full clouds of the sky, though. Not to me.
Like, I mean, wouldn't that just mean that you smell moistly?
Probably, but it's more of a fresh smell. Which wouldn't be bad, but if you smell like cigarette, I would not want that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the reason why he smokes, like, because it's to, like, make it seem like, you know, jazz. I also really like the candle one.
Wax fruit?
Yes, because that wax was near invincible.
It was really good, yeah. And you can make keys. Break and enter.
You could freaking make keys. You could, like, you'd be like, arrest me, and then, like, break out the very same day.
True. Yeah, that is a good one. Though I think, I also really do like, was it Aokiji's?
Aokiji. Who's Aokiji again?
The ice one.
Oh, him, yeah.
I don't like the character. Love the ability, but I would not want that one only because just using it, you're just gonna make everything wet later on, and it's just, no.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it because I don't have to be anywhere near. I could be on like a nice little piece of land, in the midst of water, so
yeah.
It wouldn't help the thalassophobia, not at all, but I'd feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if in case like I was traveling and I had to travel across a river. Then it'd be very convenient because like, I could freeze the lake and be like, I can walk over this, it'd be fine. But yeah, it's just not practical. And like, if in my environment where I have like a lot of paper and my computer and all that stuff, like again, it would cause damage if I used it.
Yeah. Another really good one is definitely Robin's.
That is a very convenient one.
Oh my god, the amount of freaking chores I'd be able to do.
It's so short of time.
Dude, it's so nice.
And as someone who is short, you could use it to reach for things that's way high up. Or whack a bug.
For me, I don't have that problem.
Like I look up, see a bug, I could just summon my arm and smack it.
Oh, what if you could, like, see the bug and you just basically grow an arm on top of it?
You could do that too, yeah.
Dude, that poor bug. How would it stay afloat?
It will die.
It will die from the weight of your hand being on top of it.
Yeah, and that's, the whole spying thing is very good. Oh, speaking of spying, I really like the invisible fruit. Not to spy, but say, like, you want to go home and you're by yourself. You can make yourself invisible and, like, no one can see you, so you're perfectly safe.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't get jumped, because no one can see.
I do think it's weird that, like, your clothes are also invisible.
Why is that weird?
Well, I mean, like, if you think about it, the fruit itself is only affecting you, the person, and it shouldn't really be affecting your clothes.
No, because you can also control, like, whatever you touch, it can be invisible. Remember? He was able to make his weapon invisible, so it looked like he was shooting out things when he wasn't. It was just his weapon.
I really don't remember Thriller Bark. That's where it's from, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really remember Thriller Bark all that much.
Well, just trust me on this. His ability is not only turning himself invisible, but anything he's touching. So he's touching his clothes, therefore they will go invisible. If he's touching you, you will become invisible.
But that's also the question. If he touches you, will you become invisible along with your clothes, or does he have to touch your clothes as well?
It just affects whatever is touching. So if he's touching you, therefore your clothes are being touched, therefore they also go invisible, yeah.
But what if you're like Nami and like half of your body isn't made up of clothes?
She still went invisible, including her clothes.
See, like that's what I don't like. It's not like you're technically touching the person's skin, not their clothes. So therefore their clothes should not be invisible.
It's just the range thing. I don't know. But like what was the fruit type? Was it,
if I had to guess, it must be a paramecia?
I think so. And those are weird in general. What considers Paramethea, because like Buggies is Paramethea.
Yes, and I would also really like Buggies, just for the simple fact that your body parts can float around, and if you wanted to, you could make your body into like a sheet and have your hands and your feet and your head attached to the sheet and be able to control the sheet. It's really cool.
It's a cool ability. What else is like
Also, you're
Lulu.
also immune to slashing.
Lulu is also a Paramethea.
Lulu?
No, the one with the hair.
The hair?
Yeah, remember the guy from Water 7?
Oh, the guy with the pointy hair.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because his ability also, like, if you pushed it down, it could end up not only on himself, but on somebody else. Which is what he used during fights, to distract them, so he can get a surprise attack. Because, like, the guy's about to fight him, and he sees it popped up from his arm, like, what the fuck? And he's like, ha! And he punches him. So, that's what it's used for. It's just a distraction. It's not really affecting anybody, like, harmfully.
You know what would actually be a very nice one, too?
Hmm?
Another devil fruit?
What?
The blizzard fruit.
Which is that one?
So, it's basically a weaker version of Aokiji's fruit.
Oh.
Or maybe it's called the snow fruit?
What's it do?
So basically, it makes snow.
Yeah?
Have you seen the harpy lady?
Oh, the green-haired one?
Yeah, the really nice and attractive one, like, honestly.
I didn't like her.
I thought she was very pretty looking.
No, I think she is pretty. I haven't really seen her in action. But what I've seen of her is, like, I kind of didn't like her.
If anything, I kind of liked it. I liked what I saw.
Hey. I mean, I like Perona.
Dude, oh my god, Perona. I love Perona. Does she have a devil fruit?
Yes, she has the, negative fruit.
Honestly?
Don't remember it? It's a ghost.
No, I know what they are. And honestly, like... does it also allow her to float, too?
Yes, so basically what it does is she, has an outer-body experience.
Uh-huh.
So she's, like, her body is in one place, and her soul can leave it. And that's how she floats around.
You know, I wouldn't mind that one either.
Yeah, it's not a bad one, honestly.
Yeah.
The only downside is, like, she hasn't really used it to its fullest potential, I guess. Which is why it's not considered, like, super amazing.
Yeah.
But it's still an interesting ability.
Like, imagine if she awakened that devil fruit. That'd be so freaking dope.
And isn't that also a Parametheus?
I think so.
Because it doesn't make her invincible.
Yeah.
And also Robin's as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of Robin, she doesn't have to touch anything for her arms to appear anywhere.
Yeah, she just has to see the place.
Yeah, so it's like, why is it so hard to understand that the invisible fruit, as long as it touches you and you want them to be invisible, that's affects it?
Well, that's because hers is actually, like, she has to see the place.
Yeah.
And do you remember the one time where, like, Usopp decided to go swimming on Skypiea? And Robin basically had to go rescue him, but in order to do that, she basically had to put an eye on her hand so
and
that
keep
she
growing
could
it, yeah?
keep growing it, and I thought that was really freaking cool.
Yeah. You know what we never learned about Robin?
What haven't we learned about Robin?
Where she got her fruit.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know where, like, half these people get their fruit.
True, but it's just weird that a child was able to get the hand of it.
I mean, I don't know why you're so surprised when Blackbeard got his hands on a couple of fruits.
Well, Blackbeard murdered a man.
No, I'm just saying that he's just a big child.
I mean, he is, but, like, he can go die in a fire.
Like, how does he laugh? He's like...
Don't die. No!
Like, I freaking love it when, like, there are those very interesting laughs. There's even, like, a video out there, learn your alphabets with the different laughs of One Piece.
Oh my god. No.
Like, freaking Whitebeards is like...
It's just...
Like, his laugh is weird. I love
It
his
really
laugh.
is. Okay? One of my favorite laugh.
Which one is Sapapa?
I do like that one, but that's not my favorite one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, is that your guess?
That was my guess.
Okay, so as much as I do like Chapapa, because it's fun to say. No, my favorite laugh out of all of them is freaking crocodiles. Because it's so funny.
I don't remember his. Oh no.
It is so funny.
I can probably look up the ABC one and it'll be in there, I'm pretty sure.
I can't even imitate it right now because I have to think about it. But just know, it is hilarious. Because I guess it's a very, like, intimidating villain, and then he has a stupid laugh.
I mean, like, it's like Pika.
Pika.
Pico? Oh my god, Doflamingo's a freaking fruit.
Oh, the puppet one.
Yes, like, the string is near invincible.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I would not want that one. Because it's too close to, like, my fear of mannequins.
I see.
Why would I want that in my life?
Well, honestly, like,
no.
he just got really creative with those strings in order to, like, make them into mannequins. But, like, think about it. You could make yourself, like, a nice little tightrope to basically, like, walk over. Or, like, heck, you can probably make yourself an entire rope.
I mean, maybe, but...
It doesn't have to be strictly mannequin.
I guess, but... the fact that you can do that with them is very disturbing.
I mean, yeah. I guess. To a degree.
Yeah. So, well, look what other devil fruit are there out there. Okay, so the ones I don't like are the Zoan.
Yeah,
Except,
I don't wanna...
except the Phoenix.
Well, what about the fish fruit and the kirin fruit?
I'm sorry, what?
The fish fruit.
The fish fruit?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
It's Kaido.
Isn't he a dragon?
Nope, his devil fruit is a fish fruit.
What?
That's what it's called.
But he's a dragon.
I know, it's weird. But it's also the main reason why, supposedly he can't die if he just, like, jumps into water.
Because he's a fish?
Because he's a fish.
Oh, you want to know a good one?
Sure, what's up?
Brooks.
Oh, Brooke. I mean, Brooke would probably be very nice because, but you have to die first before that happens.
Yeah, but you don't have to end up as a skeleton.
Huh?
Brooke, when he died, his soul only struggled to return because he couldn't find him. Because of the clouds. So by the time he was able to find it, it was a skeleton.
Oh, that's right.
So technically speaking, you could die and come back as yourself, but with the abilities.
Cloud.
Yeah. You know?
Brooks devil fruit, but awakened.
Uh-huh.
What do you think would happen?
You'd be able to control souls.
I mean, he technically can already do that, though it's only his soul.
Can he not control outside souls? Or maybe that I'm thinking Big Mama.
You're thinking of Big Mom.
Yeah. Because she can remove souls. And turn them into food.
Them.
Turn them into food.
Life or death?
Would you want Big Mom's ability?
Honestly, I don't really see any real purpose for me having it.
You can make food.
I mean, like, yeah, I could make food, but I have to take somebody's soul to do that.
That is true. It's a very not okay one.
Yeah, it's a very morally... It's very... I don't want to say morally... I wouldn't say that it's a moral debate.
Mm-hmm.
with her thing, because technically you're taking somebody's soul, but also, what would you classify taking somebody's soul as? You know, would you say it's chaotic evil?
Yeah. I mean, it also depends on the person you're taking it from.
Well, like, that's also the thing. Like, how do you define taking somebody's soul?
So, say they are a super, super bad criminal who has harmed people for certain things, like, such as, you know, the age, the gender, blah, 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 blah.
Delete!
And then it's like, hey, you're a piece of shit. I'm gonna kill you. And make food for other people to eat.
Well, yeah, but, like, even then, like,
It's still bad, but that's why I say it's chaotic evil. Right?
I don't know. What do you call killing a bad guy? Cause, like...
Well, you're still being a bad person by killing somebody, but you're doing it in a chaotic way of killing someone who's already bad.
But, like, that's also the thing. Killing somebody in D&D doesn't mean that it's a chaotic evil act. If I recall, in D&D, the meaning behind every action is what dictates, what classification the act takes. So if you're doing it so that you're saving people, it's technically a chaotic good act or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, if you're doing it for yourself, but in turn it also helps out a lot of other people, then it's chaotic good. If you're doing it out of the justice in your heart, then it's lawful good.
Really? Okay.
I think that's how the D&D alignment kind of, like, works.
Alright, well, we know for sure that what Big Mom's doing is evil.
Yes.
Because she's harming innocent people.
But there's also a little bit of, gray area, because there are those times where she's having those hunger pains, and she's not fully in control of what she's doing.
True.
And that right there is kind of a moral dilemma. Do you basically take it? Do you take what she's doing, like, you know, fully that, you know, she basically knows what she's doing, or do you basically, like, give her, like, a pass because she's not in control of what she's doing?
No, she's a piece of shit.
No, she's definitely is. But, like...
Not even just the ability, like, she abuses all of her kids. She makes them, like, fight against each other, and it's like, that's a bad environment.
But let's just say that you basically are not in control of your body, but you have to do something really bad. Like, would that be bad, or would that be justified?
If you have no control over what you're doing, it's not good, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But what we'll say is, if you aren't aware that you're doing it, then it is in the gray area. If you are aware that you're doing it and don't do anything to correct yourself, then it's just bad. There's no saving you from that.
Yeah, but what if you know that you're doing it, but you can't do anything to stop it? Like, you're actively trying to stop it, but you just keep doing it.
Then it's in the gray area, because you're actually trying to do something about it.
And see, that's kind of where a couple of other people might disagree. Some people might say that it's still bad because you, the person, are basically doing it. It's your body, you should be in full control, and that you should be able to stop it. Which is never...
No.
It's not always the case. Like...
Yeah, not everything is black and white, even when things are black and white.
Yeah.
It's like there's always the two sides to the thing, and that's why, like, yin and yang is, like, the best thing to go by. Because there's always a little bit of good and a little bit of evil in either or. Which is why I think of things in the gray terminology than black and white, because you're just being stupid then. Because if you only believe that things are good and things are bad, you are missing out on a lot of things in life.
Yeah, and that's why I absolutely hate Gen 5 of Pokemon.
Dude, that game was weird.
Dude, like, I just don't freaking understand how Team Plasma could ever have lost.
Wait, what?
Gen 5.
What about them?
I just don't understand how they could have lost.
What do you mean? They were pathetic.
No, they were absolutely brilliant.
Were they?
Yes, like, they could have definitely have won everything on a moral standpoint, right? Like, they had, like, good, they had, like, a freaking way that, you know, could definitely change the way you looked at Pokemon as a whole.
You know why I never liked them at all?
Why?
They made me think of PETA.
I mean, fair enough.
And fuck them, for one.
No, like, yeah, no, if anything, I totally agree with you.
Naruto! She got killed by explosion!
No!
But you still got the XP!
Nice! But as I was saying...
Yeah. Sorry.
I feel like they had, like, the moral high ground. For like a lot of things.
The thing is, like, I never trusted them. Because they, you know, they're very culty. And one thing I never like is cults.
Yes.
And one of those is why I don't like religions for the most part. Like, you can be in religion and have, like, a good community. But there are so many that use it as cults.
Yeah, no.
And it's just that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't trust groups like that, you know?
Yeah. The only reason that I feel like they had a downfall is primarily because the only one who truly believed in their cause was N.
But wasn't he also fighting with Pokemon all the time?
He was fighting with Pokemon, but he was fighting with them as a friend, not as, you know, a master and their Pokemon. Which, you know, the main character also fights with them as a friend, but to a lot of other people, the people could just realistically see them as a pet, as a companion, as a tool, versus, you know, as an actual intellectual friend.
Yeah.
And so that's why, you know, N believed the way that he basically believed while still fighting with his Pokemon, because he saw them as, you know, an actual friend rather than a tool like other people would typically see them.
Raw. Dude, Rude almost died again.
Oh god. By the way, we've been recording for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was looking at the time wondering, when should we stop? But, like, we've been, like, in a very heated discussion about a bunch of things, so I was like, this is not a good time to end it, because that'd be a weird cut.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and finish up with, like, why I believe that Team Plasma could have, like, did everything, right?
I gotcha, bae.
So, another reason, right?
Uh-huh.
Black and White 2. They had Kyurem. They had a flying ship. They had the frickin' Triad, which were as strong as Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that they still lost to a child?
Yeah, because they suck.
It's
science.
So bad. How do you lose to a child?
Because I'm the best child in the world.
I mean, that just to me, like, proves that they are definitely, like, bottom of the barrel. They had everything. They had everything in the bag, and they still lost.
Yeah. They were not good villains. They were really lame.
No. Honestly, the only person who is more bottom of the barrel is Flare.
Who's Flare? Oh, wait, never mind. I thought you were talking about a person. You're talking about the team. Yeah. Dude, Flare, they were the worst. I don't know.
I hate Flare so much. Fiery passion, I hate Flare.
God damn it, you're a self-destructing son of a bitch.
Alright, so now that I'm done with that, should we end it?
Yeah, Ruto died.
No.
But you got the XP.
Yay!
The moral gray. Anyway, goodbye!
Bye, everybody! See you in the next part of the adventure!
Woo!
Kaka, bye-bye. Kaka, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What?